Hi everyone. So I'm Brittany, and this is going to be the first episode of TT25, which I've mentioned before. And if this is your first episode, hello. Um, so I have newly turned I have newly turned 24. I just turned 24 on June 7th. Not June 7th. What the? This is what happens. It is July 11th. That is 7-Eleven day. So, I don't think I'm going to be posting this. I might. It is Free Slurpee Day at 7-Eleven. So it's 7-Eleven day. And it is now exactly perfect time, 3 a.m. I just woke up from my slumber and then I showered. But basically, this is my first episode of TT25. So, TT25 is Talk Till 25, and I just newly turned 24. And my goal for TT25, which is Talk Till 25, is I want to talk to 25 people before I turn 25 to kind of see, hey, like, am I going to hit quarter life crisis? Am I like going to question myself, my identity, and everything? But um, I want to talk to 25 people and also in order to, give 25 different life tips for people who mostly turn 25, or at least someone who does basically need the advice for their life right now. And so this is Talk Till 25, episode 1. So I'm very, very fortunate enough where I have an email for this podcast, talk and walk with me at gmail.com. And basically, someone reached out, so thank you. You know who you are. They want to be kept anonymous, so it's okay. But in order for them to know who they are, I am reading their email, and I did respond to them. And I'm just going to be reading it and kind of just delving on my experience as well as like my life update. So, yeah. Okay. So, this person chose to say anonymous, but this is their handle, I guess, for their email, Virtual PenPal. Hey, Brittany. I'm writing from an anonymous burner email because I just like remaining anonymous in general. I found your podcast actually through your SAD. So, SAD is also a short term for Subtle Asian Dating. Subtle Asian Dating is a Facebook group. It used to be super popular during like pre-COVID-ish to COVID days. And it's basically a bunch of different Asians just advertising themselves and creating a dating profile, name, age, uh, like qualifications of who they are as a person, as well as requirements and red flags and yada yada. But you basically auction yourself, and then whoever is interested, they'll comment, they'll uh, personally send you a message, whatever they'll do in order to shoot their shot, right? So they mentioned, I found your podcast actually through Subtle Asian Dating SoCal self auction because I auctioned myself. If you're in Subtle Asian Dating, you would see what it looks like. And I found myself wanting to write to you based on what you shared regarding your dating life, etc. I'm not much older than you, 27 this year, in fact. birthday a day before you. I've honestly never dated until I graduated college, went straight to dating apps, which was unfortunate because that was only a few months before COVID. It is tough, really tough out there, like you've experienced. There are going to be a ton of shitty guys out there. There are going to be some nice, awesome guys too, but you may just not mesh well or vibe. I've gone on a handful of dates with guys in the last 4 to 5 years that have really only showed me disappointment, heartbreak, and jadedness from the apps. I would be on there for 1 month and then turn it off for 6 months and then get back on because it just didn't seem worth my time. This year in general, back in January, I was going to stop trying on there and try to put myself out there in person. But before I quit, I found my person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with without question. I'm 27, never had a boyfriend, and honestly still a virgin too. I feel like crying. Because he's not rushing me into anything I'm not ready for. The person who loves you will treat you the way you deserve to be treated, so long as you do the same back. Being 24 and a virgin is more common than you expect. A lot of my friends are, and I sure would have liked to know just how common it was back when I was 24. So I'll do that for you. I never thought in my life I would have the love story I'm currently living, but of all the sucky experiences dating is in today's day. But apparently it can happen, so I wish you the best, because it could be out there. I felt compelled to write to you, maybe because I grew up in the 626 as well. All the best, Virtual PenPal. Sorry. The last 2 days have been pretty tough for me emotionally. I put myself out there on Subtle Asian Dating, stating my requirements, my qualifications, and everything. And there have been people who reached out to me, but they haven't met the qualifications, or they're really dry, or they are just not compatible with me at this moment in time. And I gave this younger guy a shot, and he basically self-sabotaged himself and proved it. If you're on my personal Instagram story, you would know, and you would see. But basically, there was that, as well as like, I talked to this guy, we were supposed to meet the day after, and he basically, like, it's gonna be very TMI, so whoever is watching this, I'm hoping that you're of age, like at least, like 16ish. But this guy, he basically said like, oh yeah, I hit like post nut clarity and I realized like this is what happened. And I did take a screenshot, and I'm not gonna reveal who he is, but I basically, we were basically talking late at night, and I guess for a lot of guys, they get a lot of testosterone kind of like in their system, and basically he kind of just, like had to release it, and unfortunately those feelings and the way that he was going to release it was basically, like, unfortunately, sexually. So there is that. And I'm going to my friend's, like, thing, because I did send them the screenshot. I didn't send them their name. So let me just go back to their thing. Okay. So I said, it seems like you're really pent up. And he said, to be honest, I want your body quite badly, but I also want your emotions, since for the majority of the time we were texting, I had so much fun talking to you. Only near the end did I get pent up and stop thinking clearly. So yes, I am really pent up right now, but before that, I was focused on you and your personality and text. And then I said, not the nighttime horn dog. So, yeah, and then he basically said, like, this is the post-nut clarity talking, and I was just only going to use you for your body. I'm just too horny right now. And it just, like, brings me down. And then the guy that I was seeing, like the last guy I was seeing, we were, I thought we were pretty good friends. But the thing is, I put so much effort, and I'm gonna cry again. I put so much effort into talking to him, like, like, I really do care. Like, I genuinely think I just care too much for people. So there are posts and there are reels where, like, as a friend and within a friend, you're like, oh, this made me think of you. And I send them, and then he does, like, a casual comment, and that's it. But he never, almost never, like, comes out and reaches out to me. And I don't even know if he's going to hear this, But we basically established, like, I was like, hey, I've noticed that I've been doing a lot of effort in our conversations, and I don't think you just value this friendship anymore. And then he basically said, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I don't think there's any connection anymore. So he basically cut me off entirely. Well, not entirely, but he cut off doing any interaction with me. He's only there for the convenience now. And I was talking to him, and I was like, I thought we were friends, and I stuck true to my word, And this is not what a friend would do. A friend would reach out to me. A friend would do this, but you don't do it. And I just don't think you want to foster any friendship. And he was like, yeah, like, we're just like, and I was just like, now we're sincerely back to strangers again. And if you've seen Wong Fu, you know what strangers again is. Like, what the film is about. So shout out to Wong Fu Productions, shout out to Phil, but sincerely, like, strangers again. And he said, yeah, we're strangers again, like, we're acquaintances, like, you can block my number, you can do whatever. And I was like, like, blank name, I'm not like that, I truly do care about people, and I care about connection, and I care about community. And it's just like, there are relationships where women are treated like an object, but you know what hurts a lot more? When you're treated like an object with a friend. Like, I've tried so hard to just sorry. I've tried so hard to, just like foster a relationship, foster connection, because I love community and I love being social. I don't want to treat anyone like an object, but like it just hurts when you're like treated like an object, like a friend. You put in so much effort to reach out to them, like, hey, what's going on? Like, I understand when someone's like not in the right, I guess, state of mind, or they're just not feeling it. But like, for sure, he was like basically cutting me off, and it hurts, because, like in my past episode, I really, I really thought he was the one. And like, even though we ended things very well, it just hurts because I think I just painted a picture of him still being the same person when we were talking. But there's two sides of him: the person that he was when he and I were talking, and the person that he is now. It's not, they're both not the same people. And Instagram has really been attacking me. Like, all of the things in the algorithm were just like hitting hard. Like this guy, he was crying, and it said like the last goodbye, and he was just tearing up and seeing all of the, like items that he had in his past relationship. And I wasn't dating this guy, but when you truly do feel like you're with the one, it hurts. I'm so sorry. But yeah. And there was some other videos, like if I pop up and I check my Instagram. So I'm gonna do that really quick because there are specific things, and this person's reaching out to me. He's my morning buddy. I don't know if he's gonna listen to this, but I'm gonna message him real quick. Like, hi, recording my podcast and crying again. I reached out and he saw. So, let me just finish. Let me check my saved options. For what I've saved. God, So, this one girl, shout out to Mango Purring, because that's who posted it. And she said, I can't even talk. When my therapist said, do you really want a relationship with him, or is his emotional unavailability activating your abandonment wounds, causing you to want him to choose you? Because once he chooses you, you'll finally have evidence that you're worthy of love. And I'm not the type of person to, seek for validation, but like this one really hit home. Because I think, I put myself out there, like I did my self auction, and, like I know for a fact, like I'm ready to be in a relationship. I'm ready to do this and that. I have so much love to give. And people know this, like all my close friends know this. I smother them with affection. And it's like smothering with affection with friends, but like it hits different. It hits different when it's with a partner. When love is reciprocated in a relationship. I'm sorry. I'm just sounding like this, like I don't sound like my normal self. But I don't seek validation in another person. But yeah, it really hits. And I'll read what I said to someone because he was asking me what's wrong. And sometimes you just need your friend to ask you, what's wrong. And I'm truly thankful for friends who check up on you. So this is kind of a reminder, check up on your friends. Because you never know when they truly need it. But there was another video that, just hit home. I posted it on my story. I'm like, sorry guys, I'm just gonna bawl my eyes really quick. It's by Miko Yui, so MIKOY.UY. I think it hurts the most when you genuinely wanted things to work out with someone, but they left you in a way that made it feel like you meant nothing to nothing to them. It's as if all the memories you've shared together never existed for them, but you're still lost in them, unable to let go. And I messaged, I commented, like, stop, because all these similar reels are popping up and I'm just continuously sobbing, as you can tell right now. But, that's the beauty of life. We're all right now, like, I'll quote this, this is my quote, because someone said, I don't know who the person is, but it's a famous quote that goes around on the internet. We're all in the same book, but in different chapters. But I will add on to that, okay? And I'm quoting it. I'm going to make it my official quote, and hopefully this is not out there like on the internet somewhere. And if it is, I'm like totally sorry if this is someone else's words, but we're all right now on the same chapter of the same book, but unfortunately on different pages, but collectively being together. We're all on different pages of the same chapter of the same story, and we're all feeling our same way. But sometimes these pages merge into this beautiful story, this beautiful paragraph. And that's what makes life beautiful. And because those pages support you, they support your page, it makes it turn into a chapter, into a story. And that's what makes life, But yeah, those are two videos that really hit home for me. And yesterday, or not yesterday, but like the day before, since today's Thursday, but Tuesday I went to this toy shop because I was supposed to go on the date with the guy, but then never worked out. I just went on a solo date, and I also went to Mix Soon, so shout out to Mix Soon. And shout out to the people at Saramu, I think that's what it's called. But I went to their pop-up, and basically, I had fun. It was in West Hollywood, WeHo. We call it WeHo because it's West, W-E, Hollywood, H-O, so WeHo. And I was driving home and I was just crying because of these two videos, and just crying because, like, it's not because of these, well, yes, but at the same time, no. And I've said it to my friend And I might just cry again. But basically, I said on Tuesday and today, or on Tuesday and Wednesday, yesterday, I've just been sporadically bawling my eyes out because my heart versus brain, or my head versus heart, is just really struggling. Like, seriously. And then my friend's name. I do want to date someone because I'm ready, and I want a partner because I'm very, very capable, and I just really want a partner to care about. And I would really just want the reciprocation, but it just doesn't work out. And then I just frustrate myself too because it's just like I'm so big. I'm very, very loud and indifferent, and in a good way, in my opinion. But at the same time, all of these guys in the dating world, in the dating realm, they're just, really dry. They're not attractive to me, unfortunately, or they just don't meet my standards. And I just tell myself, like, the reason why I bawl and stuff, it's just like, I went out on my like little solo date on Tuesday, and I'm like, yeah, this feels good. But at the same time, like, I wish I were like with someone, and like this was a date. And like, I think it's just me feeling lonely because I haven't dated someone for like a year and a half. And like, I'll explain later, but I just tell myself, like, why me? And why didn't it work out with this person? So many people are in relationships right now, and many that I know that just currently happen to get together. Like, they just are a newly fresh couple. I know that they aren't emotionally stable, but they still get with someone. And like equals like two, like, everything's great. Like, I'm a I'm a true supporter of real love, but it's just like meets like attracts like. I don't want, like, okay, like, these couples, like, I sincerely hope that they're like together, but because they're both emotionally unavailable, it's just a short-term relationship. They don't know it, but it's a short-term relationship because they haven't fully, like, they haven't fully discovered themselves yet. There's still like trauma, but if they both like help with each other's trauma, like, perfect. But sometimes their trauma gets too out of hand, one way or another, like for one side, and then and they break things. But like, for me, I like to think, but at the same time, I don't know. um I like to think of myself as emotionally stable. I do all these great things. I am very in touch with my emotions. Like, like, why me? Why won't it work out? Like, I tell myself, like, fuck these feelings. Like, I hate it. I hate crying. But at the same time, it's so valid. And based off of like the movie, like Inside Out too, like, anxiety takes control of the panel and like runs around in the circle and does an anxiety tornado. And right now, sadness is just taking over my control panel and just sobbing, continuously sobbing. Because, like, it's just, I care. I care so hard. And I sincerely love fostering connections and community. And it's really head versus heart, or heart versus brain. Because my heart, it's just so eager. It yearns, and aches for love. But my head, my brain is telling me time will come and tell. And then it's just like, what I just said, fuck these feelings. But at the same time, I'm just like, these feelings are valid and true, and don't get me wrong, I love love. But at the same time, I'm just like, when will it happen? When will I finally have the person who will truly reciprocate the same to me? I hate it. I hate the dating realm right now. A lot of these guys, they're just like very into the hookup culture. They're very like, like, oh, I just want to be short term. I just want to find a fling. Um, and yeah, like, not a lot of guys out there are truly emotionally available. There's a difference. They're still emotionally unavailable, or they're just trying to find a fling to fix their sexual needs. They're emotionally unavailable. They're on these dating apps. They put figuring out my dating goals. And then they figure out that they're actually not ready to date. And it takes some time, or one person, for them to, say, like, hey, I'm actually not ready for a relationship. And sometimes they're actually mature enough where they say, like, and that's okay. And maybe I should take a step back and realize that I shouldn't be dating right now. But some of them, they're like, well, I really don't care. So let's just play around with other girls and continue this. I'm still emotionally unavailable. And if a girl treats me right, then I'll date them. And that's not how dating works, at least in my opinion. Some people, yes, I get it. Short term, they're just down to clown. But I'm not the type of person who's down to clown. I put it on my dating profile. Like, I'm not in what people like to say, fuck around and find out mentality. I'm a find out and then fuck around mentality. I'm a science person. I graduated in STEM. I graduated in cellular, developmental, and molecular biology. I had to learn data. I had to learn data analytics. I had to learn pattern recognition in order to remember these systems. Like, that's why I want to find out. I find out because I want to know. I want to know how the whole process would work. Like, that's why I do a 3-month rule. Like, when I am seeing someone, I do a 3-month rule to figure out within those 3 months, there are situations and scenarios that might pop up in the 3 months. And I need to see if that person is genuinely real. Like, okay, how are they going to react in this situation? Like, let's say, at a restaurant and the waiter messes up really bad. Like, how are they going to react? Are they going to lash out on the waiter? It's not their fault. It's not their fault that mistakes happen. Like, truly and sincerely, mistakes happen. Humans make mistakes. Like, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. And nobody's perfect. And like, but nobody's perfect. But because they're not perfect, are you going to lash out on them? Or are you going to be like, hey, like, it's okay, things happen, like, don't worry about it, like, take your time. And I usually say that to people, like, people, they say things, they're like, I'm sorry I'm like this. I'm like, don't be sorry. Like, one thing is like grief, and this is how I'm feeling, kind of a bit of grief. Like, grief is a feeling and you have to like process it. It's the emotion. And you have to fully, truly understand it. And same thing applies. Like, some people are gonna have bad days, especially in customer service. And don't, like, sincerely, don't bash on them. If someone's having a rough day, if you're having a rough day at your job. You don't want someone to add on to that. Like, you can see that they're having a rough day, you know? And usually with these people, I'm just like, hey, you know, like, take your time. It feels, I can see that you're doing a lot and you're not feeling right. So, you know, like, take a step back. And for some people, they're like, no, like, this is wrong. That's why they're Karens, you know? But yeah, like, the 3-month rule, it really just truly shows character. And I let it happen like that. But within the like 2-month mark, within the halfway mark, I have to ask, like, who are we? You know, like, in a way, like, in a sense, like, are you still interested in me? Do you see myself well enough where you think that you can, you know, like, you know, picture your future with me as a partner in a relationship? And hopefully, the end goal is marriage, you know? Like, hopefully as a partner for life. Do you truly and sincerely think that I'm like a partner for life? And that's my end goal. Like, within relationships and stuff, whenever I do one, um, that's the whole end goal. Like, I want to be together for this person for the rest of my life. And that's why, like, dating is hard. Like, when I talk to people, I don't say I'm dating them. I say I'm seeing them. I don't consider it a date. Even I consider dating is when I consider dating, it's dating exclusively. Like, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. But there is a label. There's no question marks. There's no what are we, you know, like, what are we doing? It has to be clear communication, you know? And like, there's other factors within a relationship that I truly admire, like communication, loyalty, honesty, transparency. And there's like the three C's within a relationship. Um, it's Asa. I have to double check her names, but shout out to her. She's also a girly. She's a girl boss. I think it's Helen Asa. Is it Helen Asa? It's someone Asa, but she's a girly. She's a famous girl. Um, I'm trying to see, maybe if I go to Reels right now, it'll show up, or explore page. Um, it's gonna ruin me. It's gonna ruin me because I'm just gonna be like, who is this girl? I know she's in my thing. I know she's blah 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 blah. Like, she's on my page a lot of the time. But basically, I'm trying to see. Oh my god. She hangs out. She's like one of the eldest daughter siblings. She's in New York until the end of July. Like, it's on the tip of my tongue. If you know, you know. You know who I'm talking about. But she explains about the 3 C's that you need in a relationship: connection, chemistry, and compatibility. And you don't want the 4th C, which is convenience. Never, ever, I'm serious, never, ever date because of convenience. Like, I get it. You can easily, like, find someone, like, literally nearby you just to date them. But you're just dating them because of convenience, that they're there. But you don't want that to happen. You want connection, compatibility, and chemistry. And within connection, you and that person just automatically vibe well. Chemistry, you know, like, physically, like, you think that they're attractive, sexually as well, emotionally, mentally, socially. the chemistry has to be there, as well as compatibility. If this person and I are in the same room, can we continuously talk for hours and hours? Um, because they know me so well. Can they read my mind? Like, do I have to even ask? That is also one thing. The best love language is to never ask. Why would I have to ask a guy to get me flowers or trinkets? Like, why? That's what a lot of guys in this dating realm do. So here's like a funny story or whatever. It's just whatever now. But within my like situationship, the guy who we just said like we're acquaintances, we're strangers again. I got him flowers. I got him a bouquet. Well, I didn't even get him. I made him a bouquet of flowers. It was International Women's Day. It was on I believe March 8th. Let me double check if I am right. You know, International Women's Day. It is a women's right. Yes, it is March 8th. So okay, smart self. But basically, on March 8th, or it says March 8th for 2025. Let's see for 2024. Yeah, still March 8th because you know what? This year's a leap year. But anyway, March 8th this year, him and I, we went on a date. I made bouquets, like literal bouquets of flowers for all of my women workers. When I used to work at my lab job as an environmental lab technician, I went to Trader Joe's the day before on March 7th. I bought like a variety of different flowers and I've arranged them. It was my first ever bouquet to arrange, and they were all really, really pretty. I might have done like little snippets of the rose. I knew I had to cut it diagonally, but like maybe they were just like oddly, like the flowers were kind of just like oompa looping. But they looked really nice in general. And I had some flowers left over and I made him a bouquet and I gave it to him. And he gave it to his mom and said, like, hey mom, I got you these flowers. Like, oh my God. He should have admitted that someone gave him those flowers. And he did that for a previous friend too. Like, come on. If your friend gives you flowers, at least accept them, but don't like. He literally gave it to his mom for both of them. And it's just like, damn. Whatever, But yeah. Anyway, back to the topic. Guys these days, they don't know how to get girls flowers. Like, I thought of getting you flowers, but I didn't get them. Come on. A bouquet of flowers at Trader Joe's is what? Like $7? That's cheaper than a meal nowadays. And it makes someone's whole day. Guys, girls, gays, theys, like the guys, girls, gays, or theys, Anyone who gets flowers, like they truly, truly, truly like feel happy. So why don't you get them flowers? Why did you have to ponder like, oh yeah, I thought about getting flowers, but I just didn't want to. Like, laziness kills a relationship, and that's why relationships don't work out. Because the guy gets lazy and the girl doesn't care. Or it might be vice versa. The girl, like within a lot of my relationships, I did a lot. But it was toxic of me, to stay in the relationship. I've never dumped a guy ever because, like I said, like I really foster communication and connection. So for me, it's kind of toxic for me. And my last relationship, I knew we were going to break up, but I didn't want to break up because it's just like, maybe this could work out. But yeah. And he fucking cheated on me. So if you're listening to this, you know who you are. You said you didn't cheat, but you don't go on Bumble and say, "Oh, I just like swiping. And then right now he's dating a girl that looks very similar to me. Similar features, she's just a different race. But whatever. Anyway, that's kind of like a small rant, and that's a story for another time. But yeah, like I really do like connection. And there's this guy, we've been talking, even though it's been a day. Um, he's trying to prove himself that, you know, in a way, like that he's worthy of me. Like he's proving his worth. And I really do admire that. So if he's listening, if you're listening to this, you know who you are. Like, thank you. I think we both are trying to heal, and we're both healing in the right way. We're both very similar. We're both ENFJs. That's protagonist for the Myers-Briggs, the 16 personalities. He is assertive, and I am turbulent. And like I mentioned, like attracts like. So it is very attractive to me that like he knows what I'm going through in a way, and by chance like we're both feeling the same. Like he just got out of like a year and a half relationship, and he felt really like he's been out of it 3 months ago, literally about the same time that my situationship and I were doing things. So who knows? Maybe it is a coincidence. Maybe it's not. And maybe if him and I, you know, potentially date, and if he wants to, um, he might be on the podcast, and we can talk about how our feelings happen, potentially our first date, and potentially and hopefully, I don't want to ask him like, let's date. I want him to ask, like, let's date. I really want to tap into my feminine energy. I'm a very hyper independent woman, as you can tell within my whole background and within what I do for the community. I just really need to tap into my feminine self. Like, I don't really want to worry when I'm with like the guy I'm seeing. I want to diddy daddle. I want to, just not care. I want to be in a situation where I'm in a relationship with a guy where I'm so secure with him that I don't have to care about anything else. Like, oh, okay, like you're the planner, you can do it. And I watch you from afar. Compared to just me, just being by myself, I have to plan everything. I have to do this. I'm very proactive, and that's why I do like community events. That's why I'm the outreach coordinator for the Vietnamese Creators Collective. That's why I'm the moderator for SoCal Asian Connection. I create events, I curate events in order to foster community and connection. So yeah, like I do a lot for the community, and I'm appreciative, and I'm pretty sure they're appreciative of what I do too. But at the same time, it's just like, can someone just plan for once? Can I just like be, can I finally be the muse and not the artist? Can I finally be the one that's being captured and not the person that takes the photo? Why can't I be the model? Why can't I be the muse? And it hurts, but when you finally find someone, you truly now become the muse. You truly become the art. I want to be the art, not the artist. I've been the artist too long, and it hurts. And that's why my heart hurts, But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go. And I'm still young. I'm 24. Some of you guys might be younger than me. Some of you guys might be older than me, But we'll see how things go. So thank you for listening to my talk and walk with me. Thank you for listening to the first episode of TT25, Talk to 25. So many lessons have been said, and hopefully you've heard them. Like, just a summary, key point, things take time. Things take time. So let it take time. Time isn't rushed, and that's the beauty of it. You know? So that's the key takeaway of this episode that I've gotten from my virtual pen pal. So she knows who she is, and I truly do value you. You were my first ever fan mail to actually reach out, to actually connect to me. And, like, I've created this podcast for like just a short time, but like, actually hearing from someone, like, you're actually listening to me. You're actually, like, you actually care. Thank you, Content creating is hard, and I don't edit anything because it's just, I want to feel it. I want to be like a true content creator. I want to be a true influencer. I truly do care. I truly do want to show the real, raw, authentic authentic part of me. So that's why I don't edit. That's why these videos are just videos. Like, everybody, like I mentioned, that's something that to take away too. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's human. I want to capture that. That's why these are unedited. So, hopefully more people listen to this. Please try to blow this up. My goal for my sticker business and my podcast, which you're listening to, is to truly have true fans and hopefully reach 1K. I don't want to have fake people listening to me. That's why I don't have TikTok either. That's why I don't want to blow this podcast on TikTok. Because if you truly, truly, truly care and you want to better yourself, that's why this podcast is here for you. That's why this is called Talk and Walk with Me. We're walking through our journey of life together. So, yeah. Like mentioned before, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sincerely, thank you for listening to this episode of this podcast. I truly do appreciate it. It's my first episode of Talk Til 25, TT25, and I truly am so excited to learn so much more life lessons from 24 different people, and I hope to do so. I will be traveling soon, and I hope to do my podcasts with people from those different regions. So yeah, thank you once again for listening to this podcast. Please like, share, follow, subscribe. You can check Talk and Walk with Me on Instagram. This is on YouTube. This is on Spotify. I definitely recommend listening on YouTube and watching me talk on YouTube. You get videos on both Spotify and YouTube. But YouTube just likes to render easier than on Spotify. Spotify, it's a little bit wonky, but it's there. And yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can feel free to reach out to me. Like, literally, I'm so thankful for the Virtual PenPal for reaching out. And yeah, you can reach out to me with talkandwalkwithme@gmail.com, or you can check me out on Instagram at Talk and Walk with Me. And if it is on social media, right now, there's not that much followers. Like, I can mention and message you back easily, but if I blow up, and hopefully I do, just send me an email at talkandwalkwithme at gmail.com. So thank you for listening, everyone, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everyone.